Hello, how are you? Hello and welcome back to the Small Barn Workshop. So a couple of weeks ago I mocked up my Table Saw Workstation with my router, and since then I've had a little bit of pondering and you guys have been very helpful sending me comments. Today I'm going to make a start on making version 2. So I've been down to the DIY shop this morning. I've picked up some furniture board which was on offer. I've got my cantilever bench supports out so I can cut these to length and start to build the carcass up. And the other day I was talking to my friends at Banggood and they asked me if I wanted any help with the build, and I said a router lift and a router fence would be nice. So here they are, they've been delivered this morning. I'm going to unbox and look at these soon, but for now I just want to cut this wood, form the carcass and then swap the carcass over with the saw and this whole kitchen unit, and then we can unbox these and work out how I'm going to make the bed of the router table. So let's get on and start cutting wood up. Unusually for me, I've made loads of plans to make this, and there they are, a load of scribbles on one page of paper, which includes my cutting list and all my dimensions. And at the bottom there's a couple of little ideas of how I'm going to get this router table to work. Let's cut out the 7 pieces of timber, then we can put them together and remove this whole box and see what it looks like. For some reason this one I'm using as a base has got a bit of a bow in it. I've bought this furniture board before, I've never really had any problem with it, but this one's a little bit bowed. But it's the one that I'd left on the top of the pile, whether the moisture's got it, and obviously it's concaved it. So what I'm going to do is just going to get my other track and I'm just going to run a series of grooves down it with a track, so hopefully a little bit like on the back of the parquet floor, hopefully it'll just then equal it out. It'll take me 2 minutes to do that. There you go, just give it a little scoring, just let it know who's boss. Okay, so this is a piece of the same timber that I planed down for the base. So I'm just using it as a spacer. Draw a line there. And here's an offcut of what I've just cut. Put that thickness on. Find a line somewhere in the middle, which is about there. Strike that line there, across there. And then I just need to put some screw holes in. I don't know, one there, one in the middle. Typically the bit that was cut was the bit that I've cut the biggest pieces out of. Oh well, despite it having a bit of a bow on, once I've screwed it up, it's sorted it. So the distance between the top of here and there needs to be 340 for the saw. At the moment it's 370, but I do have a 20mm top to put on here. So it's not too bad, but at the moment these are slightly too long because of a variance I'm going to take up in the router table top. You'll see when I get there, or hopefully you'll see if it works. So at the moment I'm just going to fix these two dividers in, put a back on here, put a top on, and then the saw can go on, and then we can fine tune the router tabletop later. Okay, so just because I've got a bit of a bow going on with this wood there, and because it's in the middle and I can't get a clamp on it, what I've done is just drilled a little hole there, got a biggish screw with a washer on, and just screw that in there. Just give it a bit of clamping power while I screw it up, because once I have screwed it up, I'll be happy that it'll stay in that position. There we go. So let's take the bow out until I just get it fixed, and I can just release that. Okay, so the next job now is put a back in the saw compartment and then put a top on the saw compartment, and I'm going to leave the top long at this end by 20 or 30 mil for now. Hopefully you'll see why later. Right, so that's the main unit together. We've just been reminiscing, Lynn and I, that it looks like one of the telephone units you used to have at the bottom of the stairs. Comfy cushion here, telephone up here, notepad. So even if you don't want a saw router stand but want to go back to 1970s, this is a build for you. Retro. So now I'm going to take all my stuff out of version 1 and then take it all in pieces, so I can take the chassis cart out, fit it in here, and then the saw can go back on here. Right then, let's see whether that cart will go in here without too much trouble. Look at that, it looked like it grew there. A couple of clamps on maybe even, until I get it stood up. Screw the cart on there, and I can screw this side into the side of the chassis. Let's just take that off now. That's level there, that's level there. Perfect. Not bad for a morning's work. Right, it's lunchtime, and after lunch I'm going to get on with this router tower. Well, that's something I've never done before, cut something with a track saw like that. I've been thinking about doing that for years, but never really needed to do it. I might need to do that again soon as well. The reason I cut that off there was just to roughly level it with the other side. This is a little bit higher than I planned because I had a little bit of a design change mid-cut process. But for now, it just gives me an opportunity just to put that on the top and unbox these things, because I need to know some dimensions and some workings of these before I can go any further. My plan eventually is to cut this much lower, somewhere down here, but I'll explain why once we've unboxed these. Hey, finally got somewhere to store all them. I've never been able to find anywhere where I can not have more than 4 together, so to get them all under there is nice. Whether they'll stay there full time, and actually I'm not quite sure whether they work in that orientation. I might open them up, find everything's just slumped to the bottom. Okay, so let's do the exciting unboxing bit. I'm really excited to see what's in here. Bo's made a start already on this one. So let's open up individually. But first of all, we've got a router fence, which actually comes in a myriad of boxes. So we can get rid of the outer box. So in this box, we've got the main fence, the instructions, and the instructions are actually quite comprehensive. In fact, we've got pages of them. So let's take the packaging off. This is weighty. Throwing an Allen key away. So this is the main fence, aluminium, kind of non-slip rubber on the bottom, just extraction port. Nylon face, I think that's nylon face. Maybe what this is for, without delving into the instructions. To open up the split fence. Split face, split fence. Actually, that's very heavy duty. That might actually be phenolic. But the action's nice. And then in this package we have got a guard for the front of the fence, adjustable guard. That will go in there like that. Make sure you don't get your fingers anywhere near the finger mangler that is a router. Adjustable height, very nice. Okay, box number 2, along with mounting screws. Loads of screws. These are some guides that need to be recessed into the router table top, again with some measurements on, 0 to 300, so they're 300mm long. So there's 2 of them in the pack. Box number 4, this is all one, by the way, this is not individual items. They're the micro adjusters for the fence, probably the other way around actually, but let's sit in there. And then you can wind the fence incrementally in fractions of a millimetre backwards and forwards. So there's 2 of them, 1 for each guide. And then there is 2, very nicely made. Again, that feels very phenolic-y like that. 2 guides with micro adjustment on that sit in there, I believe. There we go. It's a very nice flag stop. So there's 2 of them. There's a feed in and a feed out flag stop for start, stopping, grooves, rebates. One that end, one that end, and they've actually got very nice little micro adjustments on them as well. The next box is a set of extractor pieces. Goes in there, goes in there. Oh, I've just seen that as well. Look at that. That's nice. Little that for the top of your Allen key. Different sizes for different hoses. Dust extraction. Ports are always a little bit of a bone of contention, so that's really nice. And then last but not least, this one, which is quite heavy. We've got 2 more of them sliders. And these are the lock off for the... Yeah, I think they're going, that's to lock them off with in the slider. I'm guessing that sits in there. So then we lock that off like that, and then we can micro adjust this fence with that. Might actually be the other way around, actually, looking at that. I shall read the instructions in a minute and work that out. But that is what we've got in the box. The fence, the guard, the fine adjustment and the lockdowns, the guide rails, the dust extraction ports, flag stops. So that's one unit. I can't believe how heavy that is. That's so heavy and substantial. This is the Enjoywood router lift for smaller routers. Now I'm hoping I've ordered the right one, because there's a choice depending on what router you've got. I've got the Makita palm router, so I'm hoping this one fits the palm router. This is a 65mm diameter version. Ooh, look at this. Foam wrapping. This is a thing of beauty. One bag. One of them. A little router cutter, that's a nice little touch. Set of what looks like inserts, and they're steel, they're heavy. Some more things, I can't see what they are until I open them. And then the main event, which is very... Oh, there's some spanners as well. And there were my glasses falling on the floor. Look at that. That looks lovely. That's some proper engineering, some adjust clearance. Don't understand what that is at the moment, but it looks like it's holding that brass part in place. There seems to be all kinds of adjustments on this. It's obviously the bottom of that rise fall mechanism. I'm not quite sure what that does yet until I read the instructions. One revolution equals 1.5mm. First of all, there's actually no instructions in the box. They're all online. Can't get over how heavy that is. So we have got a spanner, 13 and a 16mm spanner. A set of mounting plates. That's nice, because these are like my Craig plate I've got. These are a separate purchase, they're about £30. So these actually, to come with them, are very nice. So they'll sit like that. 4 of them. A little tiny spanner. Oh, that's for that then, isn't it? Another adjuster. Little windy handle one with ratchet on. Again, that's for that. A pin, that's for, I'm going to put that in there actually. A router face pin. The inserts, 1, 2, 3. They're so heavy. That's steel plate, looks like about 3mm steel plate. So they're going, yeah, dropping there. And they're magnetic as well. There must be some magnets there. I guess they're magnets, because they actually snatch it off you. One for a little tiny router cutter, totally flat, but actually there is some adjustment there if you need it. These, I think, are the mounting set for, yeah, so they're the mounting set for these. That to screw it to the underside of the work table, and these to go in there and adjust the height of the plate just to get it absolutely even. And then lastly, there's a little Allen key for them. Oh no, that's for them. Allen key there for them. There's a little Allen key then. What's that for? Must be something on it. We'll find that soon. And then this, I think, is a really nice touch, if it's what I think it is. Router cutter with a bearing on, so you can, and a guide. Now one of the things, it's actually got some 3M tape on as well. So that fits that perfectly. So you can stick that to your worktop and then use that to go around there to fit the hole. That's a really nice touch, because usually you buy the router cutter, as I did with my Craig one, and then you've got to make your own template to do that. That's brilliant. I really like the fact that they've sent that. So that's fantastic. Right load of kit there for this router tabletop. Thank you very much, Banggood, for sending me these. So we'll start to install these. Whether we'll get them installed all in this video, I don't know, because there's quite a lot going on in this video. It might be 6 hours long. If you've got a spare day, you can sit and watch it. And then the first thing I want to do is actually make sure that this fits my Makita router. And if it doesn't, it's my fault, because I gave them the size I needed. The little Allen key is for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12. In fact, when I look round, there's a lot of things that little Allen key will fit. And there's a bolt there to slacken that off. So I'm guessing that means that this spanner fits it, and it does. Sort of takes the tension off this split plate to let the router go in. I'll just find my router. It's a lovely little router, this Makita palm router. Look at that, it's perfect. Hey, there we go. Right, we're in. That's lovely. Give it a good tighten up. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. That's a relief that I picked the right one. Perfect. How do we make it go up and down then? I'll stand up on the end of the router while we play with it. I guess it's something to do with that. It has indeed got something to do with that. That's very smooth. If I manage to hold it still enough for me to... That's it, and that's it. The router comes all, body comes all the way out, so I can undo that and then wind it, and then wind it back. And let's see, I never actually measured it in its full up position. There we go, that's all the way up. So from the top of the collet to the top of the, I've got about 50 mil, 55 mil, maybe 53 mil. So I can have quite a long cutter in there then. That is so smooth. It's so smooth, I can just twiddle that on the end by fingers and it all operates. Because I've actually got plenty of body there of the router, I could actually undo that bolt and just drop the router body down another 1.5 or something. So I've got loads. I mean, not that you usually put a really long 1/4 cutter in because you break it, but you could have a huge cutter in. There's actually a lock off there. You can actually lock off that spindle. That stops that spindle rotating. So I think, guys, I'm going to call this video here. I think it'll be long enough by the time I've edited this, and you'll get to see me install this router top with the router table and the fence in the next video. Tempted just to fit all these and rush the process just to get a video out, and I don't really want to do that because it doesn't then do things justice.